Why, hello, everybody, and welcome to a Truly Odd movie review. And today we're going to be discussing Freakier Friday. Thank you guys so much for joining me here today. And overall, I think this movie is fun and entertaining. Just giving you guys the general gist. Definitely a thumbs up for me. Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan returned for their iconic characters in Freaky Friday. And Jamie Lee Curtis is, of course, the standout as she always is. She does phenomenal work. She's very entertaining, very funny, both as her old self and young self, but mostly stands out, of course, as her young self. It's great seeing an actress like of her caliber really just poke fun at herself and really just inherit a younger character. And I love the comedy bits with her having arthritis and her being older and her having wrinkles. And I feel like she's one of the only older actresses in the film industry that's not afraid to let her face wrinkle and doesn't have a lot of work done on herself. Even if she has, you really can't see it, so it's very subtle. But she's gorgeous at any age, and I think she does phenomenal in this role. And I love seeing her in this role. As far as Lindsay Lohan, while her acting ability hasn't stayed consistent over the years because of she's kind of been out of the limelight for quite some time, I think she does a good job here, and she's really entertaining both as her older and younger self. Preferably her younger self because she gets a little more silly and a little more ridiculous, as you saw in the trailer. She doesn't stand out as much as Jamie Lee Curtis, but she does do a good job. And I really was hoping for a little more chemistry with her and the husband character who was played by Manny Giacchino. Forgive me if I'm saying his name right. The guy from A Good Place. And while he was entertaining and did his job well in the movie, I felt like their chemistry could have been a little bit better, or we could have probably got a little more in depth of why they were more in love with each other, if that makes sense. We also got some cool returning characters in the movie from the classic movies. We have some of the shop owners from the Chinese restaurant return, some of her bandmates return, which is nice for the movie. But also, before I get in any further and forget, I want to mention the two young ladies who the play the opposites for the Freakier Friday. Juliet Butters, who plays Lindsay Lohan's daughter, and Sophia Hammons, forgive me if I'm saying that right, plays the sister-in-law, and I think they both do a phenomenal job. Specifically, Julia Butters really gets into the emotional aspects. You really feel her emotions, and she does good. And for both being very young actresses, I do think they do a great job, both in the young and older roles, of course. And if you guys remember from the original movie, a little bit of spoilers here. If you don't want to hear nothing, I highly recommend you guys go check it out. But getting into somewhat spoilers, Chad Michael Murray returns in this character in this movie as Jake. And if you remember the original, his character kind of has a thing for Jamie Lee Curtis's character when Lindsay Lohan inherits her body. Uh, and it was kind of awkward back in the day because it's an older woman and a teenage boy. But now they kind of call back to that, and he kind of returns into this movie, and it's pretty entertaining and pretty funny. It's nice seeing him return to his character as well. We also got some interesting cameos from other people in other Lindsay Lohan movies. We have I don't want to spoil it, but we have a cameo from one of Lindsay Lohan's well-known movies, Parent Trap. You'll see it if you recognize her, you'll know her. And yes, just some interesting characters, interesting story overall. Very funny, very entertaining. I had a great time at the movie, and honestly, I did a double feature of this and Weapons, and I highly recommend it if you guys get the chance to watch Weapons before, because you get a nice little horror movie and then a scary movie right after. But yeah, definitely a good time at the theater, guys. Overall, I would rate this a 7 out of 10. Not as good as the original. I'd probably rate it an 8 out of 10. Entertaining movie, but overall had a good time at the theater, and I hope you guys check it out. And if you do, let me know what you guys thought of the movies in the comments down below. But thank you guys so much for joining me for this review, and have a great day, everybody.